Do you need to prep items, get them sent into Amazon, and not sure what to go and do? Come with me and I'll show you 6 essential items you will need, and we'll prep 2 items together to give you the confidence to do it. My name is Matt, and welcome to Selling with Matt. Let's do this! Now, you're not going to need a professional setup to go and do this, but there are 6 essential items that you will need. I don't need a lot of these items at my house because I go and use a fulfillment center, and they do all my shipping and packing. I do keep some of it at my house because I want to go and test items, so I will prep it myself and send it into Amazon. We will first go through all the items that we're going to need, and then we're going to do the prep together. So let's get started. The first item you're going to need is polybags. And you're going to need a variety of sizes, 3 to 4. You don't want to have too many when you first get started, but you want to have enough to deal with the variety of sizes of products you will be sourcing. So if you're looking for a way to go and keep your bags organized, I use a shelf just like this. This is how I keep all my bags in one place and easy to go and pull out whenever I need it. So the reason why we need these variety of sizes is because Amazon only allows 3 inches past the dimensions of the product. 3 inches is a lot. So not only do they not allow it, it will also cost us more money because the bigger bags cost more than the smaller bags. Also, any bags that are over 5 inches, we want to make sure they have a suffocation warning. And they're clear, not blue, not any other colors. They must be clear. In my home, I'm using a company called Uline. They're not the best poly bags because they tend to open up, so I have to reseal them with tape all the time. But you can use a company called I Love Supplies. Their poly bags are fantastic. So at the beginning, you're not going to want to put a lot of money down for poly bags. You'll want to go to Amazon and buy a 3-pack or a 4-pack. This one's a 4-pack. Pretty good price. When you start selling more and you have the money to invest in inventory, you can buy these larger amounts because per bag will be cheaper because of the quantities you're buying. The second item you're going to need is bubble wrap. Now you're going to need this to keep your products safe. You can get this at Staples, Home Depot, any hardware store that you like to go and shop at. So as you grow, you can get into bubble bags. They're a little more expensive, but they save so much time. They come in a gigantic box, so make sure you have room for it. The third item you're going to need is scissors to cut tape, boxes, and bubble wrap. Okay, yeah. The fourth item you're going to need is packing tape and a tape gun to reduce the size of the poly bags so that they're not past the 3 inches and to tape up your boxes. You can buy this at Amazon, Walmart, or Home Depot. And you could also eventually go and get silent tape if you're staying up late at night and you're annoying the rest of the family. They're a little more expensive and a little thicker, but this product will keep your family sane. Hey, keep it down! The fifth item you're going to need is shipping labels. So you could put Amazon barcodes on them. Now, when you make some money, you could use a thermal printer where you'll use a roll, which will save you a lot of money and time. So, at the beginning, you're going to be using this brand of labels. You're going to be using them on your inkjet printer or your laser printer. You could also use them to cover up the barcodes on the products so that Amazon doesn't accidentally scan them. Now, there's been talk between sellers that you don't have to go and cover up these barcodes. Well, I've experienced the opposite. So I'd recommend not to go and do that. This brings us to our last but not least item that you should go and get. Little stickers that are round and clear that you can use to go and reseal products. So when you go and buy things like from Walmart and the box is open, customers on Amazon will think that it's been used. So you take these little stickers and you reseal the boxes so that when they get it, they're happy because it's brand new. You do not want to go and get a bad review because of used products. So make sure to keep yourself safe on Amazon with these little stickers. If you need any of these items for both Canada and the US, you could go to the links below and make a purchase. Otherwise, go to the stores that I recommended. So at the beginning, I will have my 3 bags out. You'll probably have 4 at the beginning so that I could go and resize my product to the bag that I'm going to be needing. So here's the product right here. Now, I've already covered up the label so that the barcode won't be read by a scanner from Amazon. And you don't need to go and bubble wrap this because the product's pretty safe. There's no liquid inside of it and it's not going to really get crushed. Now, it's too small on this one. It's a little better in this size. So we're going to use this size. We're going to open up the bag so that we can put the product in. Fits in nicely, but it seems like it's going to have a little space on the side. So first we're going to go and seal the bag. So now that we've sealed it, it still has a little flap over and stuff like that. So we want to try to make it somewhat neat. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be somewhat neat and easy to deal with. More hangover, the more damage could be had. So we're going to just tape down the sides to go and make sure that it's nice and neat and easy, so Amazon can't really do anything to it. And now it's ready to be sticked. So the next item we're going to be doing is a fragile item. So we have a bubble wrap here. We have our bags for the leakage. Now this is the item we're going to be using. It's glass and it has liquid inside. So we want to make sure to really protect this. So I'm using a bubble wrap bag. You could use just a bubble wrap. It's a lot cheaper for you. The bubble wrap bag is just easier, a little more expensive, but it's much easier to go and deal with. I just throw it in the bag and I roll it over. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you hide the labels on other things, but because this bubble wrap is covering it up, you don't need to go and want to go and cover it up. So you just want to seal up the ends because that'll give it a little more safety, a little more protection. And you do the bottom end especially as well. So next we want to go and put it in our poly bag. And the poly bag is really for in case anything out of the ordinary happens. So like if a truck was to run over the box, we want to make sure that no liquid or anything or glass could get anywhere. So we put it in the poly bag just for that extra safety, but we're going to be really protecting this so that the possibility of normal accidents happening and it breaking is really low. So we're going to seal it now. And you don't need to go and do any extra tape up or anything like that, but this is what's going to be coming to the customer. So the extra protection we're going to be doing is using a little box. Now you must make sure there's no liquor on labeling on the box or any Home Depot. Amazon doesn't want those things going to the customers at all. So it has to be no name, Uline is fine. So I'm using paper. You don't want to use peanuts. You don't want to use shredded paper. You can use newspaper if you want, but you want to really make sure this is padded really well. So padded on all sides. You can see that I'm really trying to cram it inside of here so that it's really fully protected because this has to go and be dropped from 4 feet. And you don't want anything to be breaking in that 4 feet because Amazon will send back everything to you and it'll charge you for sending it back. And you could lose the possibility of sending stuff to FBA. So now I'm just going to tape it up with my gun. And there we go. Our package ready to go to customer. All we have to do is put our labels and stickers. So we're going to be working with a 2-pack. So we want to make sure that we go and cover up the 2-pack labels so that Amazon can't scan them. Now you don't have to be perfect here. You just have to make sure that it's covered up. Now we're going to try to decide which ones we're going to go and put it in. And we've decided this one because it looks like it's going to fit best inside of there. So we open up the bag so we can fit it in. Now we don't want to go and damage the bag too much, but we want to get it inside of there. Now once it fits in there nice and snug, we want to go and fully seal the bag. So we're going to go and pull the tape off so that we can go and stick it onto the bag. But we also don't want to go and have those flaps sticking out everywhere. So we're going to tape those down as well. So we're going to pull some tape from my tape dispenser on the side over here. And we're going to tape down the full thing to make sure, one, it's secure, and two, the flaps are not sticking out really far. And we're going to do that on both sides. Make it nice, neat, and snug. And here we go. Now we're also going to put this is a set because Amazon will separate this if they see this. If we put this is a set on it, Amazon will not separate it. And all we need now is our labels. So now we're going to label all our products. So it doesn't really matter with this one because we've already covered up the labels. So we could stick our labels anywhere on the product. Just put it on, make sure it sticks, and we're all done. The next one we're going to label and put our stickers on is our fragile item. Now we don't want Amazon to go and take it out of the box. So we want to put this is a set so they won't take anything out of the box. They will put this box in another box and it'll be double safe to go into the customer. And then we just put the label on and we're ready to go once the labels gets put on. And just make sure that you have the expiry. So now we're going to label our 2-pack. Now we don't have to do anything in the bottom. We've already put our set labels on this one. All we have to do is put our labels on it. Now the label has to have the expiry date on it. That's what's really important. Because it expires, Amazon must have it on it. And our last item, we just needed to put our label on it. Just have to cover it over the barcode. Don't have to go and worry about anything else. No bags, nothing else. Try not to get products that are oversized, which is not between 18 inches in length and 14 inches wide. These products will be put into the oversized category, which will cost you more money in shipping and in fees to Amazon. Now, if you do decide to go and sell oversized products, make sure you remember to go and cover all the margins. And also remember that these products are going to go to a separate warehouse, which is an oversized warehouse. So products that are normal go to a standard warehouse. You see, you could be sending in much larger items and much heavier items to a separate warehouse, which will bring up your costs for shipping. So make sure to have that in your plans when you're doing oversized items. We now know how to go and prep our products safely and to send it into Amazon. Now, if we need to know how to pack those products in boxes and what items we need to go and do this, then click on the screen right now. And if you haven't, subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next video.